Hello, Andy Grant here, just laughing at myself a bit before I get going here. Um, wow, it's been over a month since I've done a video, sent out an email update, or even a blog post. If you've been tracking me and following for a while, you realize that last month, early September, my stepmother passed away, and it was challenging, like any death might be, but it was also welcome, and it's what she wanted, and she died peacefully at home. So that was all good. And again, if you've experienced a death in your family, you know that there comes the cleanup and the sorting through and going through people's stuff and seeing what you throw away, discovering all sorts of wild things. We discovered stuff for like every birthday card Lori and I had sent my stepmother, she still had. Letters that I had written to her, she still had them. Also finding really neat things like all these black and white photographs from her grandfather's business trip to Egypt in like 1945. Just really neat things. It's I don't know. I find a very healing experience to go through and discover things you didn't know about somebody, or finding some of the memories, or seeing what they chose to hold on to, and what they didn't. But so that was a neat experience. And then for the first week of October, actually more than a week, I think it was a 9 or 10 day trip. I had out to Utah, visiting all the national parks, and this was outstanding because it was with seven of our best friends since high school, and we thought we would. About 25 years ago, we had done the Grand Canyon together, and we said, "Oh, we'll do this every year." And 25 years later, we finally did it again. But we visited Arches National Park, Canyonlands, drove through Capitol Reef, spent time in Moab, visited Bryce and Zion, and all places that I had never been before. Some of my friends had been there as many as 15 times, so we had built-in tour guides and excellent knowledge database of what was going on. But it was just a fantastic time with guys that I love, with guys that I've been through a lot with, and seeing sites that I had never been at before. So it was just outstanding. But it was one of those, grueling, exhausting vacations that I needed a vacation back home to recover from. And while I was away, my dad went back in the hospital, and I was really worried that, I just kept praying that my dad didn't pass away while only my wife was here, and then another of my family's death falls into Lori's arms, kind of. But he was fine. He's back home, and he's fine now. But one of the biggest challenges in recent memory, if possibly, if not ever, has been in the past week as sorting through the estate of my stepmother. For years, she had told me and Lori that we were being taken care of, and there was a sizable something coming to us. In her very last weeks of consciousness, she told us both that be sure and do something fun with what I'm leaving you. And my wife and I joked, like, well, does that mean go to a movie fun or going around the world fun? And, we're up for both. So there was this, and also, that was our expectation, again, with nothing attached to it, not knowing really what it meant. But going through her stuff, we came across a handwritten letter from her to her attorney from 2010, detailing how much money going to everybody, and my name was there, and Lori's name was there, and it was a substantial amount of money. So we had a few weeks, and while I was in Utah, just feeling excited and feeling wealthy, and kind of planning what we'll do, and just being full of gratitude. And it was really a fantastic experience. Then I believe it was last Friday we got the call from the estate attorney saying that we were not in her trust or in her will at all. No mention of us. And we shared with him that letter that we had found, and he had never seen it. And it wasn't notarized, it was never sent to him, so it was meaningless. And, God, I still feel it. Just the sense of confusion, betrayal, just not understanding, and trying to rationalize, well, why would she bother have lied to us for years? Like, we would have helped her regardless. There was nothing like that. There wasn't anything to gain. But again, it was just her expectation of what she shared with us that we thought, this windfall, this gift and appreciation was coming our way, and it just doesn't exist. And it's been challenging to wrap my heart around it. There's periods of just feeling heartbroken. Again, and it comes from when I tried to understand what was she thinking. Why didn't she follow through? Why did she intentionally abandon us, or was it all just a mistake and you just got to accept it? And actually, either way, I've just got to accept it. And that's where the best part of this has come from. And I can joke about, and like, well, can't take away those 3 to 4 weeks of thinking we were rich. That felt really good, and it was genuine, and we felt it. And then it was taken away, and we felt kind of the opposite. And it's neat to realize that my bank account didn't change. It was just expectation. It was just mental. It was just my imagination in both circumstances. So the latest Real Men Feel I did was recorded this Tuesday, and I really shared how this is one of those times I did not want to be a man willing to feel. I wanted to ignore this. I was bouncing between rage and heartbreak. And anyone that I met who said they were a lawyer, that they risked getting punched in the face because I didn't know who to take my vengeance out on. But again, being energy coaches, being regular coaches, being author, being someone who's just dealt with shit throughout my life, and with the support of Lori and other family members, we're getting through it. We're fine. It's really is all good, and I know that some higher outcome is there, and that's cool. But why I wanted to share this is to make sure that you and your family, be it your estate you're passing on, or be it your parents, your grandparents, have the uncomfortable conversation, right? If we had said, as she stated her intentions, if we knew she was dying, it was obvious, there was no doubt about it. And if we had said, let's all get the documents, let's all look at them now and make sure everything's as you intend it to be, we would not have been caught so off guard. Because again, it's not that the issue isn't we left something. It was the issue that we kept being told we were getting something and then didn't. So it's that, the frustration, the confusion, again, this almost sense of betrayal and trying to understand it all. And it's just to go with the flow of life means you don't always understand it, and that's okay. But again, nobody really wants to. Americans like to talk about money, so putting it together is a challenging thing. But it's worth it. So don't be afraid to ask your parents, your grandparents, what they want to happen. Is it documented? Is it properly documented? Is it notarized? Do they have a trust? Do they have a will? And if they do, when's the last time they looked at it? Right? Has the size of the estate shrunken or grown since it was first written? Right? You don't want to have to go sorting through this and playing forensic accountant after the fact, while you're already grieving, while you're already heartbroken from other things. You don't want to add money to that, right? So, be good to yourself, be good to your family, talk to your lawyers, and don't be afraid to ask what's going on, right, with your own family, with your own estate, with your stuff, right? Be good to yourself. Bye.